It's Disney Dreamlight Valley update news time again. It's been a while since we've had one of those. So this is our first piece of news since the roadmap about Update 6. Summer update. The summer update is coming this summer, and if you're like me, you're probably starting to think, I bet it's coming soon. We are in mid-July. I haven't heard anything yet. I bet we'll hear something soon. And today we finally did. But first, let's take a look at that roadmap and what we knew already. So from the roadmap, we know that the summer update is bringing Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph. She's the princess that races into the valley, a new villager that races into the valley. We know we're not getting a new star pass, so we're going to stick with the Pixar star path until the new September one comes out. Now, the part that I found most interesting was the second line on the roadmap. Flex your creativity with a new feature and win in-game prizes. So previously, I hoped that this might be a way to share custom designs, be able to upload them, other people could download them. Well, today, the official Disney Dreamlight Valley Twitter account and Discord expanded on this part of the roadmap and finally let us know what it's going to be. So in today's announcement, they tell us that this new feature is called Dream Snap. So they tell us that this Dream Snaps update is coming soon, and with it a brand new way to flex your creativity and earn exciting rewards. You'll submit photos and weekly challenges, vote on your favorites, and earn weekly moonstones and more. Now, I don't know if that means that there is more to the Dream Snaps update or simply more to the prizes than moonstones. Now, I do hope that is earning moonstones, as in if you say upload a photo, you earn some moonstones. If you vote on somebody's, well, that also earns you moonstones. Sort of similar, I'm imagining, to the way that Pocket Camp works, where you can put the cute little emotes on other people's photos as part of your daily goals. Just like here, we could maybe be earning moonstones. Let's look at the rest of what they say. So they say this new method of bringing content to the game specifically focuses on a new feature that will continue to receive updates and evolve over the coming months. Think of it as a smaller scale treat to tide you over between major content updates. They think the Dream Snaps will make your time in the valley even more rewarding, and they can't wait to hear what we think. They want feedback. They say it'll be hugely important as they refine Dream Snaps over the coming updates, and to stay tuned for even more. This immediately makes me think of other games where we have in-game photo sharing, and the one that I think would make the most logical sense for a model is in the new Pokemon Snap on Switch. So in that game, the entire game is taking photos, but there are ways to edit and share them with other people, but it's entirely within the game. So you don't have to go out to social media or anything like that. At any time, you can use the in-game photo editor. And I think this would be a really good feature for Disney Dreamlight Valley to have, because in Pokemon Snap, you can do a lot of things to your photos. You can zoom in, you can reframe it, you can add a frame, add different filters, and you can add stickers. And the stickers kind of remind me of the motifs, so I could see this being a way for us to also use the motifs that you're earning in game, because everything that you use to alter your photos in Pokemon Snap are things that you unlock during gameplay. So I could see Disney Dreamlight Valley kind of pulling on some of those ideas, especially with having the ability to add the motifs to your photos after you take them and edit them just a little bit more. Get that zoom, get that crop just right, because I think we're all aware that using the in-game camera, your experience varies depending on the platform that you play on. In Pokemon Snap, you have a player profile page, your picture, and a couple of the things on there, like your title, are things that you earn in game and can change. And then there's kind of different feeds that the game gives you where you can view other players' photos, and they usually have one of the biomes featured. You can view photos taken by other players, and if you go to that photo page, you can give it sweet medals, kind of like liking it or reacting to it. And you can also go to that player's profile and see a few more of their photos. And one of the things that I think Pokemon Snap also does well that Disney Dreamlight Valley could do is they have kind of like a spoiler filter. And so they will actually hide photos from you if you have not yet unlocked that biome or seen those Pokemon yet. So I could see Disney Dreamlight Valley implementing a similar kind of spoiler feature that you could turn on, and then you wouldn't see photos taken in biomes or realms that you haven't unlocked. You wouldn't see photos featuring characters that you haven't unlocked yet. But I think taking a Pokemon Snap approach 2 dream snaps, I mean the names are even similar, would make a lot of sense. And then having a way to find out about the in-game contest in the game would work really well. So one of the other games this reminds me of is the Happy Home Paradise app in Animal Crossing. That gave us a way to take pictures of our designs, post them to a portal, and then others could browse those designs. And so you'd have a feed in-game again through an in-game app on your phone. We were able to then click on those, see a zoomed in shot of that photo, but you could go and visit the designs, walk around them in game. And so I wonder if Dream Snaps in Disney Dreamlight Valley could eventually evolve into something like that. I think it could work for indoor builds. And so the part of Update 5 where we can now have multiple houses, we can decorate them separately. I feel like it could be connected to something like this. Now, they haven't said that. This is just me thinking out loud, kind of, but it would remind me a lot of Happy Home Paradise if, say, eventually Dream Snaps evolves to the point that if you, say, have a weekly challenge and it's decorate an interior, maybe as you're browsing through those Dream Snaps, maybe you'd be able to go and visit a dream snapshot in game of those interior builds where you can walk around the inside, maybe not the outside. Maybe it could be where you can do that, but you can only walk around one biome. They could put like clouds around a particular area or something so that you're only seeing part of it, not an entire valley. And maybe I'd be able to do that with my own previous builds. And it doesn't matter if I change stuff in game. And with all the limits in the game, that would be a great way for people to be able to save their work, but then also tear it down and build something new without feeling like they had totally lost what they did before. And giving folks a way to share that with other players so you could walk around and see, well, how did they actually do that? What does that look like in game? So looking back at that tweet, it does say submit photos in weekly challenges. I think one of the things we'll have to keep an eye on is how does that weekly timeline go, and make sure we give feedback on whether or not that's working. I think part of it'll depend on what that voting actually means, because if you're supposed to in a single week get a challenge, complete the challenge, vote for the challenge, and find a winner, that seems like a really compressed timeline that I don't think is going to work really well. But I'm hoping that the challenges and the voting are separate, because I don't want this to become some sort of weird popularity contest situation. I'd much rather see it like the sweet medals, or even better, like the little reactions that you can do in Pocket Camp, and that you can earn moonstones by completing different little goal tasks, not by people voting on your photos, but earn moonstones because you uploaded a photo that met certain guidelines. Earn moonstones because you went and reacted to, say, 5 different photos on your timeline. I think something like that would keep this kind of community friendly, everything in game, nothing on social media. You don't have to like advertise your photos in order to earn moonstones. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I'm hoping the system really improves the different types of in-game challenges that we have. So we've had like the Dreamlight Park challenge, we've had the Wally challenge where you have to take a picture with Wally and then you could be entered into a drawing to win the Wally pack. So I could see something like that happening. When I look at that and more, I think, oh, it could be the Wally pack type of prize, but I'm also remembering the other types of prizes they've had, and so it could also be 50 softwood. So, you know, we'll wait and see what that ends up being. I wouldn't mind though if one of the prizes was, say, like 500 fiber with the way that I need fiber for the new custom rugs. What I don't want to see, and I'm afraid they might do, is have challenges where it requires you to use premium shop items. Like I was saying, thinking about like the Happy Home Paradise kind of visit a place, if that becomes an indoor only thing and only works using premium house skins, I'm not sure that that would be the best choice. So I'm really hoping they keep the premium shop out of this, unless it's, I don't know, if it was a prize from there maybe, but I'd love it if you could do these things and then earn a house skin. Or maybe you could earn something like a voucher for a house skin. I'm thinking the way that Pocket Camp recently made it so that you could earn a voucher for the various environment things. Like you can get whole different backgrounds, foregrounds, midgrounds in that game, and now you can earn vouchers for those. So something like that would be a really neat prize, because that way you could still get those things, but have a set path to be able to earn them. Most important for me is that this feature really needs to be fully accessible to everybody that plays. So no online subscription required, no paying into it. Keep it entirely in the game and make it completely accessible across every platform that people play on. No excluding PlayStation or Mac or something like that, but it needs to be something that works equally well for everyone. Now, one way I think that submissions could work is maybe the in-game camera, since it can kind of sense, it knows what's in your picture, just like, you know, the cameras in other games can tell you what's in a screenshot and whether or not it meets a particular particular criteria. I think that they could do the same thing with this camera, even though any of us who have played any of the take a photo quests have found it's not always as accurate as it seems like it should be, so hopefully they clean that up first. But maybe having the in-game camera determine whether or not you've met the challenge, and that's kind of how your moonstones unlock. You know, if it's take a picture with Wally, it can tell whether or not Wally's in the picture. Although I do wonder if they might implement for one of the weekly challenges, kind of like players have been doing in the Discord, like look at a picture and find that villager and they're like hiding behind a bush and not very easy to see. I think that would be a fun challenge in here too. But I could see them doing, you know, the camera has to recognize that Wally's in the picture for you to be able to upload it for the contest. And that's kind of how you check off that uploaded and eligible photo thing. But I think you could go a little bit further, because I'm thinking of like the wedding event in Animal Crossing. And in that event, you go to the place, you're given a set of design constraints, and there are certain pieces of furniture that it gives you to kind of build with. And then you can use anything else you have too, but it has to be in a certain theme. And depending on how many on-theme pieces of furniture you use, you can earn more in-game currency for special items. And I think that principle would apply really well here, similar to the way that I was saying that I hoped in the future that we might get some sort of an update where we have a happy home situation where you design villager rooms, you get scored on them. The idea that we already have these predefined furniture sets, the game already has a way of distinguishing between pieces of furniture based on a set of criteria. You could have then a weekly challenge that says, you know, design something with these kinds of furniture. Let's say Wreck-It Ralph furniture or with purple furniture. And the game will count like, okay, if you have 5 pieces of purple furniture in your photo, you'll get this many moonstones. But if you have 10 pieces of purple furniture in your photo, you'll get even more moonstones. And have it have a way of scoring that, ideally letting you know ahead of time, you know, what that score is. I think that would be kind of a fun way to make it a challenge. Use a lot of those in-game features and the automated part of the camera in order to do that actual earning the moonstones thing. And that way you have a set of criteria. You don't have to be super great at design or anything. You don't have to worry about a popularity contest. And it's automatic, ideally unbiased. We know that those categories in the game are a little questionable and maybe not everything is categorized completely correctly. But I think that would be a good direction for this to go for the earning moonstones part and the challenge part. Now I know in the wedding event in Animal Crossing, you most certainly do not need to design well at all to meet your maximum in-game currency. We've seen the builds. But I think that could make this work well for Disney Dreamlight Valley. And I think there's a lot of potential for this to be only the first in-game app that we see, because maybe the next in-game app could be that custom design portal, and maybe there'll be even more apps in the future. But overall, I think this has a lot of potential. So how do you hope that they implement this new Dream Snaps feature when we see it in the summer update? How do you hope it evolves in the future? What would you like it to do? How do you want it to work? Let me know in the comments below, or let's talk about it in a future live stream. We will of course be streaming when the update drops. There'll be a new playlist with this as the first video on it, with information about the summer update and all of the official news that we get, and I'll try to let you know as I learn new things about what's coming and, you know, what I think they might mean. Thanks for watching. If this video was helpful for you, consider hitting the like button so others can find it too. If you've watched more than one of these videos or would like to see more Disney Dreamlight Valley content, learn how to design custom rugs, or catch a future live stream, consider subscribing to the channel. We're almost to 500, and turn on notifications to find out the next time we go live. Hope to see you there.